The plank is a great posture that, if done correctly, gives full body strength. And I mean correctly because everyone can do a plank, right? It's like running. If you can walk, you can run. But very rarely do you see people running correctly, and so the same with a plank. In today's class, we're going to not only look at the various techniques that will help us develop a good, strong plank, but we will also work with different variations. We will work with variations of the arms, hands wider, hands in front. We will work with variations of the legs, and we will also do not only static postures, but dynamic postures. So let's get started. First, find a comfortable posture where you can sit with your spine straight. Relax your shoulders and your arms. Close your eyes. And bring awareness to the natural movement of your breath. With your lips very lightly touching and your teeth apart, become aware of your breath as it moves in and out through your nostrils. This technique will help us develop the focus needed for the rest of the class. One point of attention, the nostrils, observing the breath as it flows naturally in and out. Placing gently your hands at the heart center in a prayer position, take a couple of long breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Sing 3 long ohms together. Release your arms, open your eyes. We're going to start by changing the crossing of the legs. We're going to do a breathing exercise. So sitting tall, this exercise is called Kapalbhati, breath of fire sometimes. It is a rapid breath, but if you have never done this before, make sure you do it slowly at a good pace that you can maintain that pace like the beating of the drum. If necessary, place one hand on your abdomen. Take a comfortable breath in, very soft, very natural, and the exhalation is a forceful exhalation as you engage the abdominals, press the abdominals towards the spine, very short and sharp exhale through the nose, like this. Yeah? Now, after the exhalation, after you engage the abdominals, you want to release the tension and let that breath come in. So again, exhale to engage, release to inhale. We'll stick to this rhythm for about a minute or so. To end, take a slow, deep breath through the nose. And a soft exhale through the nose. So remember, practice these again and again. Remember to exhale as you engage and release to let that breath come in. Make sure that you can hear both the exhalation and the inhalation. Inhalation a little quieter because the exhalation is a little more forceful. So let's come into hands and knees. We're going to start by warming up through the wrists. So making soft fists with the thumbs inside, we're going to turn the hands in circles. And as we do this, we pay attention to the flow of the breath. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. Then change direction. Now coming to your hands. Now the position of the hands is important. Make sure that you spread the skin of your palms, spread your fingers equally, and have your index fingers parallel to each other, and the pinky fingers pointing towards the side of the mat. Thumbs also spread. Place your shoulders over your wrists, press through the inner hand, index and thumb area, and turn the biceps slightly towards the front of the room, or towards the front of your mat rather. From here, inhale as you lean slightly forward into a wrist stretch, and exhale to come out of the stretch. And we do a few of them. Inhale forward, exhale back. Now with the fingers pointing to the side, we're going to go in the same direction. Inhale forward and exhale back. Now we're going to go side to side. Inhale to one side and exhale to the other. Good, then come to sit. Give your hands a little shake. We're going to give a little warm up to the shoulders. So very leisurely, crisscrossing the arms in front. Make sure you're still breathing, or you're still aware of your breathing. Then come to tuck your toes under, sit back. I'm going to place one hand on top of the other, keeping the arms straight. We're going to swing the arms up, swing them back, changing position of the palms. We're going to swing the arms up and down. Good. Then from here, come into your hands. Extend the legs. Keep the external rotation of the arms, biceps slightly towards the front of your mat. Bend the knees, and as you bend the knees, send the hips back and up into downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here. And as you exhale, take as many steps as you need to come to the front of your mat. With an inhale, lift your chest halfway up, send your chest bone forward, bring the hands to the shins, lengthen the spine, keep the chin in. And as you exhale, fall from the hips, bring the hands to the floor, fingers touch or palms touch. Make sure you bend the knees as much as you need so you can release to the floor. Tuck your chin in. With an inhale, push with your legs to come up. Reach high to the sky. Lift the chest, and as you exhale, fold. As you inhale, come halfway up, chest goes forward. On the exhale, come to downward facing dog. On the inhale, come into a plank. And then lower the knees. And as you exhale, keeping the arms real close by your side, lower yourself to the floor. Point the toes, strong legs, strong arms. Reach your chest forward and up. Inhale. And as you exhale, lift your hips, tuck the toes under. Push through your arms, come to downward dog. We'll do a few rounds like this. Inhale. Exhale, bend your knees. Inhale, step. Lift your chest. Exhale, fold. Relax your head, tuck your chin. Inhale up, reach high to the sky. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come into a plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale into a cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale, bend your knees. Inhale, step. Lift your chest. Exhale, fold. Relax your head. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Breathe through the pose. And as you exhale, lower the knees to the floor. We'll start with the first exercise to help us with awareness in the shoulder blades. So we come into hands and knees. Now, keeping the arms straight, we're going to sink the chest down towards the floor. On the exhalation, we're going to push with the arms to leave the chest, and at the same time, we're going to press the shoulder blades against the back ribs. It's like you're trying to do this movement, rounding the back, but the shoulder blades are pressing against so the back doesn't round. So your back is now straight and firm. Make sure to keep the shoulders away from the ears and your neck long as well. So inhale, sink your chest. Exhale, lift through the arms, press shoulder blades against the back. 1, we're going to do 10 rounds. 2. 6. 2 more. And 1. The next exercise is to help us with the awareness of the hips. So we're going to, on the inhale, we're going to send the tailbone to the sky. And on the exhale, we're going to engage the core, the abdominals, engage the hip muscles and glutes, and we're going to point the tailbone in the direction of the back of your mat. Inhale to release, tailbone to the sky. Exhale, engage the core, the hips and the glutes, tailbone pointing to the back of the mat. 8 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 8. Sit down on your heels, shake your hands. Now for the plank pose, we're incorporating both those movements or those positions. First one, you don't want to sink your chest between the arms. You want to lift through and press the shoulder blades against the back ribs. And 2, you don't want to point the tailbone to the sky. You want to engage core, hips, point the tailbone towards your heels. Biceps towards the front. And for an addition, we're going to slightly magnetize the forearms towards each other. So try like you're trying to bring the forearms together at the center. Good. And here we breathe. Five more breaths. From here, bend the knees, push back into downward dog. Take a deep breath, and as you exhale, come to seat. Come to lie in your back. So we're going to isolate the core. We're going to work with the core. So let's start by bringing the shins parallel to the floor, heels high to the knees, arms by the side. Now engage your core and press the lower back towards the ground. Feel that your lower back is touching the floor. And we're going to, keeping the leg bent to the knee, we're going to move from the hip. So we're going to move the leg down from the hip rather than changing the angle of the leg. I'm going to inhale to tap, exhale to bring in. Inhale, exhale. Make sure you keep your core tight and your lower back connected to the floor. 3, 4, 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Set your feet down, take a break. Bringing the legs in the same position, we're going to squeeze the legs together. We're going to extend the arms in front. With an exhalation, we're going to press the lower back to the ground. We're going to lift the shoulders off the floor and reach high through your fingers. 10 times as well. 5, 9, and 10. Rest. Cross the legs to sit, roll off the floor, coming to your hands. Coming to downward facing dog. Take a deep breath, and as you exhale, come into a plank. We're going to do the first variation of the plank. Still with the arms and fingers pointing forward. We're going to lift the left leg. Make sure you don't drop your hip. So keep the hip lifted, point the toes, hold and breathe. As you hold, remember your arms strong, pelvis slightly tucked, reaching through the lifted toes. With an exhalation, lower the foot, lift the other. Point the toes and reach. Release your foot, come to downward facing dog. Take a couple of deep breaths. As you exhale, lower your knees to the floor, come to seat. Give your hands a little shake. Good, let's do a variation of the plank with the arms. So instead of having the hands shoulder level, fingers pointing forward, we're going to take the arms out to the side, fingers pointing to the side. So you start on your knees, take your arms out. Remember to press so that your chest is not sinking. Keep your neck long as well and soft. And then one at a time, extend the legs. Adjust your pelvis. Tuck in. Lift your hips. Make sure your hips are not sinking. More or less shoulder width, shoulder height from the floor will be a good height for the hips. And breathe. Five more breaths or so. And as you exhale, lower your knees. Come to seat with the legs in front, and then come to lie on your back. We did a variation of plank with one leg. We're going to do a variation here also with one leg. So start with your feet on the floor. Then take your knees to your chest. Press lower back to the ground, engage your core, and lift your shoulders off the floor. Keep your neck long and soft and have your arms floating by your side. From here, we're going to extend one leg. Point the toes and engage. And breathe. Make sure your lower back stays on the ground, core connected. With an exhalation, change your legs. And then bring both knees in and rest. Hug your knees, interlace your fingers to hold your legs together, gently rock side to side. Come to seat, and come into downward facing dog. Take a deep breath, and as you exhale, come into a plank. Remember the directions. Don't let your chest sink. Don't let your hips sink. Keep the adjustment of your pelvis, tailbone slightly tucked in. You're going to lift the leg, point the toes. We're going to breathe in, and as you exhale, you're going to take your knee and try to touch your elbow on that same side. You're going to go for 10 rounds. 3, 4, 5. And 10. Downward facing dog. Take a deep breath. And as you exhale, come into plank. Lift your right leg, point the toes. 10 rounds. Inhale. Exhale. Five. 2 more. And to downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths. On your next exhale, come to seat. Roll into your back. Very similar to the one we just done, but now lying on the back. So take both knees to your chest. Interlace your fingers to hold your legs. Very gently press the knees towards your chest and relax. From here, take the hands and support your head. Let your head rest in your palms. Extend your left leg. With an exhalation, touch left elbow to right knee. And as you inhale, change. That was 1, we do 10. Nine and 10. Rest. And then come to sit. Now, we have the hands under the shoulders, we have the hands outside of the shoulders. We're going to have the hands in front of the shoulders. So starting on the knees, you're going to step the hands in front. With an exhalation, we're going to extend the legs. Try not to lift your hips. It will look a little bit more like a downward dog. Tuck the pelvis, engage your legs, your hip muscles, your core, and breathe. Five more breaths or so. And as you exhale, lower your knees one at a time and release. Come to sit. Just going to soften across the shoulders, crisscrossing the arms in front. Now, we're going to come into hands and knees, and then we're going to place the forearms on the floor with the elbows right under the shoulders. Now, you can have your hands in any posture, make a fist, palms together, but I would strongly recommend to have your palms facing the floor with the outside of your wrists long. What I mean by this is not to take your hands out like this. Keep the outside of your wrists nice and long. Why this? Because this is a great foundation for future arm balances. But like I said, you can make a fist or palms together, whichever is best for you. I would strongly recommend to have the hands flat down. And then from here, to make it easier, start on your knees. So staying on the knees, keep the forearms slightly pressing towards each other, keep the elbows pointing back. You're going to extend the arms with the exhale. On the inhale, you're going to lower. If you can do it on the toes, feel free to do it on the toes. We're going to go for 10 rounds. Inhale, exhale. Five, 8, 9, and 10. Shake your hands, move across your arms. So these done on the toes is very hard. I find it really hard. So don't be afraid to go on your knees and just doing it on the knees. You want to make sure that when you lift, your elbows don't splay. Keep your elbows, wrist, elbow, and shoulder all in one plane. For the next round, we're going to do it static. So we're going to come into the forearms. We're going to extend the legs, adjust the pelvis, remember tuck in slightly, engage the core, keep your neck long and soft. Push with your forearms so you're not sinking. Hold the pose and breathe. Five more breaths. And as you exhale, slowly lower the knees one at a time. Come to sit. We're going to interlace the fingers at the back, press the palms together and take the hands to the left hip. From here, we're going to level the shoulders and reach the left elbow in the direction of the right elbow. Breathe in here. Then switch sides, bring your hands towards the right hip, shoulders level, neck soft, right elbow towards the left elbow. Long deep breath. And gently release. Shake your hands. We will return to forearm plank in a minute. Let's go back to straight arm plank. So before forearms, hands under the shoulders, outside, in front. Now we're going to have the hands together. So bring your hands so the base of your thumbs is touching and the thumbs are touching too. Fingers pointing to the side. To make it easier, go wide with your legs. It will help you keep the balance. If you want a little more challenge, bring your feet together. Adjust your pelvis again, tailbone pointing. Engage the core. Don't sink between your arms. Keep your neck soft and breathe. Five more breaths. And as you exhale, gently release. Shake your hands. Crisscross your arms. So now let's go back to our standard plank. Remember the directions. Don't sink your chest. Push. Don't tilt your pelvis. Engage. And don't sink your hips. Keep them lifted. Now the tricky here is that we're going to come out of the pose. So when we come back to the pose, we'll have to bring awareness to all those directions as well. It's easier than some of the others we've done before. So on the inhale, you're going to push through into downward facing dog. Chest goes through. Hips lift. On the exhale, we come into plank and engage. We're going to go for 10 rounds. 1, 5, 2 more, and 1. Lower your knees, sit back, rest. You can move across your wrists if they're a little tense, or across your shoulders if they're a little tense. Now, a common variation for that drill we just did is to do one leg. So you're going to come into a plank, engage, tailbone pointing, pushing through the arms, come into downward dog. One leg lifted. Take the left leg to the sky. Reach high. Inhale. Exhale. Come into plank and tuck your knee into the shoulder, into the arm. 10 times. That was 1, 5, 2 more, 1 and 2. Downward facing dog. Take a deep breath. Extend the right leg now. Inhale, exhale, knee in. 10. Three more. And 3. Lower to your knees. Sit back. Relax. Come to lie on your back. So this is the same plank pose, but upside down. We're going to do a variation with one leg, so it's more affordable, easier to do. So you're going to start by tucking the chin, the knees towards the chest, press lower back to the floor, engage the core, and extend the arms in front. For a more realistic version of a plank, we're going to turn the palms towards the sky. With an exhalation, we're going to press lower back to the ground, engage core, and lift the shoulders ever so slightly off the floor. And then from here, we're going to extend one leg. And breathe. Bring your knee in, and on the exhale, extend the other leg. Hold the pose and breathe. Bring your knee in and relax. Come to sit. Come to downward dog. And then lower your knees to the ground. We're going to come into forearms again. And then we're going to extend the legs into a forearm plank. We did forearm plank already. We're going to do it with a variation. So on the inhale, we're going to lower the hips. Keep your back strong. Just to hover off the floor, not really to rest. And on the exhale, we're going to tuck the pelvis, engage and lift. Inhale. 8 more. Two more. And rest. One knee down and the other, and to sit. You're going to interlace the fingers at the back. Open the palms, roll the shoulders back, extend the arms, leave the chest, look up or slightly in front. Good. For the last round, for the last variation, we're going to come into the forearms. If that previous one we just did, if you found it too hard, don't be afraid to just hold a strong plank, not moving. If you thought it was okay, we're going to do a variation, and that is with one leg lifted. We're going to lift the left leg, point the toes. On the inhale, we're going to lower the hips. On the exhale, we're going to lift and tuck knee in. 10. 5 more. 2 more. Other leg, lift the leg, inhale, exhale, tuck in, 10. 5 more. 2 more. And 1. Lower the knees one at a time. Come to sit. Whew. And interlace the fingers at the back. You're going to rest the arms on the back and slowly we're going to lower the forehead to the floor. If your head doesn't touch the ground, separate your knees a little more so that you can. Relax your breath here. And rest. And bring your hands either side of your shoulders. Push with your arms, take a breath in, bring yourself up. Take the legs in front and lower into your back. One at a time, separate your legs to the corners of your mat. Relax your arms in a comfortable place. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath through the nose. Exhale through the mouth with a sigh. Relax. One more time. Take a slow, deep breath through the nose. Letting go, exhale. One last time. Deep breath in.